of the Code Compliance Board, and I call this meeting to order. The NSB Code Compliance Board of March 20th, 2025. The procedures of this hearing are to provide due process to every respondent and the city in accordance with the Florida State Statute 162.073, which states formal rules of evidence shall not apply, but fundamental due process shall be observed and shall govern the proceedings. Hearsay is admissible, but only to support other competent substantial evidence. Other evidence must be presented. Are there any questions? Any decision made today can be appealed by sending notice of appeal to the Circuit Court within 30 days of the execution of the orders per Florida State Statute 162.11. Can we have roll call, please?
Yes. Dan Coffer?
Here.
Clifford Warren?
Here.
Albert Szymanski?
Here.
Aaron Dennis?
Here.
Kathleen Brown? Not here. Ruth Kazmarek?
Here.
Okay, thank you. Do any board members have any ex parte communications to disclose? For the record, none. Has each member had a chance to approve look over the minutes from the February 20th, 2025 meeting? And if so, do I have a motion to accept?
So move. Second.
Dan Coffer?
Aye.
Clifford Warren?
Aye.
Albert Szymanski?
Aye.
Aaron Dennis?
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek?
Yes.
And at this point, can we have the swearing in of any city staff, respondents, and any witnesses that may testify today in front of us?
Can everybody please stand and raise your right hand? In the matter to which you are about to give testimony, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? The witnesses have been sworn in.
Okay. First case.
First case is case 0614-2024, 826 East 10th Avenue. Officer Beverly Abrahamson presenting.
Hi. Hello. This case is for 826 East 10th Avenue, case number CCB 06142024. This property is zoned R2, single-family residential. On August 6, 2024, Code Compliance received a complaint regarding the condition of the roof and its covering. On August 7th, an inspection was conducted and the property was found to be in violation of City Code Sections 26914-13, outside storage, metal roofing materials being stored on the front yard, Section 26171A, permits required. There were 2 expired re-roof permits. On February 6, 2025, a notice of violation was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of February 26, 2025. A copy was also mailed certified mail to the property owner and returned to the sender on February 8, 2025. On February 26th, a follow-up inspection showed the City Code Section 26914-13 for outdoor storage was in compliance, and Section 26171A, permits required, was still in violation, but later came into compliance on March 14th. Therefore, it is staff's recommendation that the board find Kenneth Munitz and/or entity in violation of Section 26171A, permits required. This code was in violation from February 26, 2025 until March 14th, 2025. A permit was applied for and issued on March 14th, then bringing it into compliance after the comply by date.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
The permits that were expired, you said? You said there were 2 permits expired? Were they by contractors or by?
The first one was by, I think they were, all 3 of them are by a contractor. The first one was actually canceled. There was never any work done, so they went ahead and canceled the permit on that one. And then the second one, just recently, they went ahead, I called the permit department and they told me that they would just close that one out based on the fact that he now has an issued permit, so.
Okay, thank you.
But if I find this in violation, or if you guys find this in violation for the time period in which it was not in compliance, then if he doesn't finish this roof up and get it inspected,
So there's
then
no
we,
open permits on this then, correct?
yes, there's one issued permit,
By a contractor?
yes.
And do we know what he's gonna be doing?
Well, the roof's kind of already done.
Oh, the roof is done, so he's waiting for.
When he had the second permit, there was 2 inspections done. They did the in-progress inspection and the roof sheathing inspection. And then he covered it with a tarp for some reason, had something to do with insurance. And this was after the hurricanes in 2000, what was this, 23, I think it was. So he took the tarps off because they were torn and parts and stuff was flying all over the place and the neighbors were concerned about it. So he took that tarp off and put something else on there. It's some kind of a, I don't know if it's a bitumen
So.
roofing or something.
Yeah, just another question, is the violation for permits based on a contractor or a homeowner?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter,
It's just it was work done without a permit,
okay.
but he now has a permit issued.
Any other questions from the board? If so, if not, can I have a motion?
Is there anybody else here to speak on it?
Is there
Make
anybody
sure.
else to speak on this matter in the audience? For the record, no?
Okay.
What was the recommendation?
To find section 26171A, permits required in violation from February 26th until March 14th of 25. And then I guess you find it in violation, then comply it. Just find it in violation for those couple weeks.
I move
Can-
to accept the recommendation.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Who is the second? Thank you. Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
The
Next,
respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case, please.
next case is case 0657-2024, address of 2631 Brookline Avenue. Officer John Parks presenting.
Afternoon. Case number CCB 0657-2024, 2631 Brookline Avenue. This property is zoned R2 single-family residential, and violations cited was 26-171 permits required and section 74-146 local business tax imposed. On August the 28th, 2024, Code Compliance received a complaint regarding a pool and deck installed without a permit. On August the 30th, 2024, an inspection was conducted where I was able to observe upright wooden posts and structures that would be associated with a pool and deck. A check of the permit system found no permits. The property was found to be in violation of section 26-171. On September the 30th, 2024, I posted a courtesy notice and spoke with the resident who advised that he was the renter, not the owner. A check of the BTR system found no BTR. The property was found to be in violation of section 74-146. On November the 26th, 2024, notice of violation was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of December 20th, 2024. A copy was also mailed certified mail to the property owner and was signed for and accepted on November the 26th, 2024. On December the 6th, 2024, a follow-up inspection at the request of a neighboring property making a complaint showed that extension of the driveway and shed were both done without a permit as well. On March the 10th, 2025, a check of the permit system found an application for the pool and deck with fees due and resubmittal required. There is no application for the driveway extension or the shed. It is staff's recommendation the board find Terry Lee Launder Jr. and/or entity of violation 26-171 and section 74-146 and give until May the 9th, 2025 to bring the property into full compliance. If the owner does not come into compliance, it's staff's recommendation to impose a fine of $50 per day until the property is brought into full compliance, maximum fine not to exceed $10,000.
Any questions from the board?
I move we accept the recommendation.
I second.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Next case is 0796-2024. Address is 1325 Saxon Drive. Officer Barbara Bobelak presenting.
Good afternoon. So, case CCB-0796-2024, property is zoned B5 Plan Shopping Center. It's located at 1325 Saxon Drive. On November 4th, 2025, Code Compliance received a complaint regarding Waves Hair Design changing ownership in August of 2024. The previous owners contacted Kathleen Adel, the business license specialist, and informed her of this when they received their renewal notice. So Kathleen had contacted the new owner to inform her that she needed to change everything into her name. On February 12th, 2025, it was turned over to us because Kathleen had made several attempts by letters and calling the owner to get them to change the business license and get it into their name. So on February 12th, a check of the business license database indicated that there was no business license tax receipt that had been put into the new owner's name. On a notice of violation and notice of hearing was mailed, certified mail to the property owner and the business owner. The certified mail sent to the property owner was signed for and accepted on February 14th, 2025. The notices were also posted on the property with the initial compliance date of February 28th, 2025. The property owner, or the business owner of Waves Hair Design, she has several other businesses in the city, so she's well aware of the process for the business licenses. So Kathleen and myself, we'd been emailing back and forth. We got the property owner, which is Publix, also involved. And the last email correspondence that we had showed that the previous people that had Waves decided they were going to sublease the property. Publix does not allow subleasing of the properties, so now we're going back and forth trying to get a property owner affidavit from Publix for the new property owner. They have submitted the business license tax receipt, and they kept putting off submitting the affidavit. They did send one showing the previous leaseholder's name. That's how we found out they were subleasing. So as of yesterday, we had some regarding the businesses. We had correspondence from Publix telling us that they're trying to straighten this out so that she can move on and get her business tax license. So my recommendation is to find Real Sub LLC in care of Public Supermarkets Inc. and Waves Hair Design and/or entities in violation of Section 74-146 local business tax imposed and give until April 10th, 2025. In the event that they do not comply, we do it a one-time fine of $250. So this is, and the way we know that this business owner that's in there now, she just had 3 inspections on her other businesses, so we know that she's well aware of the rules and regulations, so.
Any questions from the board? Can we have a motion?
I make a motion to accept Bob's recommendation.
Seconded.
Thank you.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Next case is Cherry Street. It is a vacant lot, and Officer Amber Beige is presenting.
Hello.
Hello.
So the property location is going to be parcel number 741-8011-0090 Cherry Street, which is a vacant lot. This property is zoned for R2 single-family residence. On January 6, 2025, Code Compliance received a complaint regarding a residential zoned lot being used as a construction site for storing equipment and the breakdown of concrete and rock-type materials. On that same day, January 6, 2025, an inspection was conducted and the property was found to be in violation of LDR 80202, storage on residential lots. I observed heavy machinery used in construction being stored on the lot, which could be observed at the top of the fence line. While conducting the site inspection, I made contact with Mr. Gregory Wright and advised him that the equipment was not permitted to be stored on a residential lot and that any and all breaking down of construction materials on the residential lot had to stop. On January 23rd of 2025, the initial notice of violation was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of February 6, 2025. A copy was also mailed certified to the property owner and was returned unclaimed. On February 11th, a follow-up investigation or inspection showed the construction equipment that was visual from the top of the fence line had been removed, and it looked as though the property had been brought into compliance. I spoke with Mr. Wright on the telephone, and he stated that all the construction equipment had been removed from the property. I also spoke with the complainant that confirmed that the construction equipment had been removed and the construction work had ceased. It is the staff's recommendation that the board find Mr. Gregory Wright and/or entity of violation LDR 802.02 from the dates of January 6, 2025 to February 10th, 2025, and in compliance on February the 11th of 2025.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
So he's in compliance?
He's in compliance now, yes.
Do we have a
What-
motion?
What's the motion? What is it that you think?
Oh, I would like it that he be found in non-compliance between January 6th of 2025 to February 10th, 2025. So if he were to bring the equipment back, it would be a repeat violation.
Yeah, I so move.
Sorry, is there any fines that go along
No
with that?
fines.
Okay, thank you.
Except for the repeat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, Cliff, you motioned and Albert, you second. Okay. Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Next case is 6-2025, I'm sorry, ignore me. 614 Aeolian Drive, Officer Barbara Bobelak presenting.
Case number CCB-0055, 2025, 614 Aeolian Drive. The property is zoned PUD, Planned Unit Development. On January 21st, 2025, Code Compliance received a complaint stating the property recently sold and is being rented as a short-term rental on Airbnb. They also inquired if this was allowed use for the property, and if so, has the property registered with the city of NSB and or Volusia County for short-term use and tax purposes. On January 22nd, 2025, a check of the business license tax indicated there was no business license tax receipt for the property and was found to be in violation of Section 74-146, local business tax imposed. The courtesy notice was mailed to the property owner informing them of the violation with the compliance date of February 5th, 2025. No application for the business license was submitted to the city by this compliance date. On February 14th, 2025, a notice of violation was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of March 7th, 2025. A copy was also mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and was signed for and accepted on February 18th, 2025. On March 12th, 2025, I conducted a site visit and knocked on the door. No one answered the door. However, when leaving the property, I could see lights on in the home. When I returned to the office, I emailed the Utilities Commission to verify utility service. There's utility service to the home. The utility service is in the property owner's name, which is basically a real estate company. I tried reaching out to them. The phone number that I found was actually for a different company with a similar name, and they stated that they were not related to this property at all. So I went through different processes trying to find contact information. The only thing I could get was from the property appraiser website. And so it's my recommendation to the board to find BG Real Estate FL LLC and or entity in violation of Section 74-146, local business tax imposed, and give until April 10th, 2025 to submit the business license tax receipt application and schedule the required inspections. In the event that they do not comply, a one-time fine of $250 would be imposed.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Do we know how long they've been using it as a?
Pardon?
Do we know how long they've been using it as an Airbnb, or?
I don't. The first complaint we had was in January, and it sounded like that the real estate transaction had not been much for, they are relatively new owners of the property. And she said, the lady that sent the complaint said she knows that it's a rental because she's seen the property owners there showing the property to the renters. So, but like I said, I knocked on the door and there's been no contact information. And a good indication to me that it's possibly a rental is that most tenants, you have your utilities in your own name. So I don't see why they would keep the utilities in their name if they had a full-time tenant. So they could be doing short-term or just the 30 days, which is permitted in that zoning. But I don't think they're gonna have somebody change the utilities every 30 days.
Or weekend?
Do we have a motion?
One question. Did you say that you couldn't find the owner's name in this?
I found the owner's name, which is the BG Real Estate FL LLC, and their mailing address is on the tax roll and on the property appraiser website, but I searched different websites to see if I could find a phone number. The phone number I found was for another real estate company that was BG something. So I spoke to a gentleman there, and he said that they're not affiliated at all. So, which are they? I don't know.
Okay.
But they also accepted the certified mail, so
That's what
they
I
are
was-
aware the
And where was-
property's
and
been
Fernandina
listed.
Beach?
That's what's
Is that-
strange.
At
Pardon?
that address, the Fernandina Beach,
Yes.
and they accepted the
Yes.
certified, okay.
And they're a real estate company, so they should know better.
And they're real, and they got the notice and they signed, someone signed for
And
it.
the property was posted, and when I revisited the property, the posting was down as well, so.
Yeah, as long as they accepted it.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the recommendation.
I second.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Szymanski,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis.
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Next case is 0073-2025, address of 2502 Arlington Avenue. Officer Barbara Bobelak is presenting in Jason Yates' absence.
Case number CCB 0073-2025. Property location is 2502 Arlington Avenue. The property is zoned R2 Single Family Residential. On February 6, 2025, Code Compliance received a complaint regarding a concrete slab poured approximately 3 months prior to the complaint, and now a 3-car garage is being built on the cement slab that is located in the backyard. On February 6, 2025, an inspection was conducted. The property was found to be in violation of City Code Section 26171A. The 3-car garage was visible from the street, and no permit was on file. On February 7th, 2025, a notice of violation was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of February 28th, 2025. A copy was also mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and was returned to the city marked return to sender. On March 3rd, 2025, the property owner contacted Jason Yates, Code Compliance Officer, to inform Jason that he has been working with an engineer to assist him with correcting the violation of constructing the building without a permit. Mr. Ayers stated that he needed paperwork from the engineer, who doesn't want to give him the paperwork. Mr. Ayers is not sure where to go from here, so Jason informed Mr. Ayers that he would give him more time to allow him to obtain the required paperwork and obtain the after-the-fact permit. It's staff's recommendation to find Mr. Robert Ayers and/or entity in violation of City Code Section 26171A, permits required, and give until May 8th, 2025 to submit the required permits to the building department. If the owner does not come into compliance, it's staff's recommendation to impose a fine of $50 per day until the property is brought into full compliance.
Any questions from the board?
I don't know.
Do we have a motion?
I move we accept the recommendation.
I second.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Okay. That's it for any new cases. Any discussion among the board members?
Off the record, maybe, not now.
Okay, then I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.